Second video of the day, talking about Whitt Jr., talking about Conerly Jr. The news never stops around here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Full Command Show. My name is Grant Mitchell, back at you guys for the second time today on this very dark Thursday evening. It's not even 6:30, and it's basically pitch black outside. You know, forget the Commanders. This is how we're starting the video. With daylight savings, do you guys like it? Do you like waking up in the light? Do you like it being lighter earlier, or do you like it being lighter late in the day? I don't mind waking up in the dark. When the sun is going down at 4:30, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I feel like I'm living in Iceland or Alaska or one of those places that has 20 hours of sunlight in one season and 20 hours of darkness in the other. Totally off on a tangent there, but that's the question of the day. That's the poll we're going with. Guys, we're here to talk about a lot of comments from Whitt Jr. at his press conference today. Cliff Kingsbury spoke. We seem to always get more from Whitt Jr., probably because we're all more interested in the defense right now. And also, we're going to talk about Conerly Jr., like I mentioned. Before we get to that, guys, you know the drill. Like the video if you enjoy the content. Subscribe if you're new around here. Comment section, leave your thoughts. That includes on daylight savings. And then the Full Command Discord. That's the last thing. I'm used to having the three plugs: the like, the subscribe, the comment. Now we got a fourth. Full Command Discord. Link is in the description. You can join. It's free. You'll be able to talk to me, other Commanders fans, etc., etc. We also do monthly giveaways. Join the Discord. You will find more information about that. So let's jump into the actual information in this video. I would love to do a full podcast on daylight savings, but no, let's stick to the football field. So Whitt Jr. spoke at his usual Thursday press conference, and I gotta say, man, Whitt Jr. is remarkably in charge of everything when he's at the podium, and things aren't going well on the football field. Okay, I'm not defending the performances, the stats, the results, and all that stuff. But one thing I can give him is he's not clueless. He is aware of what's going on. He's aware of we're not generating pressure. However, as he said today, he said we are one of the highest blitzing teams in the NFL. I'll give you more information on that in just a second. He always says that this is on me. The defense is not performing, and as a coach, I got to do better. He says all of the right things, and there's no abdication of responsibility. He doesn't deflect anything, nothing like that. So, in that spirit, I want to return to something that I said in my video earlier today, where I spoke about Mike Sainristil liking a comment on Instagram that essentially blamed Whitt Jr. You can go watch the full video on that earlier. Essentially, Sainristil posted a picture on Instagram. Someone commented saying or asking him why he had regressed this year. Someone else, not Mike Sainristil, just some random user, replied to it and said that it's not his fault. The system is bad, doesn't fit his needs. And then there was a liked by author notification, meaning Sainristil liked the post, or Sainristil liked the comment, excuse me. Well, what I did not take into consideration when I made that video earlier today is that Sainristil and his wife were co-authors. So if she was the one who had liked that comment, it would have shown up exactly the same. Now, Sainristil could have liked it himself. Mike Sainristil, don't know his wife's name, but Mrs. Sainristil. Mike Sainristil could have been the one to like the comment. I think it's probably still more likely than not, but I framed it as if it was an absolute that it was him who did it earlier today. Did not get that correct, and I just want to apologize if I misled anyone. I mean, I did mislead people, but I apologize for that. So, with the Whitt Jr. spirit of accountability out of the way, let's talk about what he actually said. So this surprised me a little bit, but it was his idea to go to Dan Quinn and say, hey, why don't I move down from the box? Now, you're probably asking yourself, why did that happen? Well, apparently several players on the defense had gone up to Whitt Jr. and said, hey, coach, we would like for you to make this move. And at that point, players know best. They know what's working for them. They know what's not. So when they went to Whitt Jr., and obviously the performances, they don't vindicate him ignoring them, staying up in the box. No, the defense has not played well. The team's losing games. So he went to DQ and said, hey, Q, that's what they call him. Hey, Q, I think I should move down from the box. And as we all know, that is what's going to happen this upcoming weekend. We are going to be seeing that for the first time. He said that the move to the field, he expects to bring more energy to the players. He also spoke about what I have said would probably be the biggest selling point for this, is when the team doesn't have the ball, he's able to go up and actually speak face-to-face with the players. Now, he mentioned that he had full confidence in his position coaches and his support staff, but defense wasn't working. Doesn't mean it is the fault of the position coaches, but you got to try to change things, because Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So Joe Whitt Jr., he's tried to make all of the changes in the world that he can. He's gone from man-heavy coverage to zone-heavy coverage to blitzing a lot to not blitzing a lot to blitzing a lot again. We've played nickel. We've played 4-3. We've played 3-4. Last year, we were in dime a lot. It's now he's leaving the box to go to the field. I have no problem with people criticizing Joe Whitt Jr. I do just also want us to be fair. He is not clueless. You can hear that from what he says at the press conference. He is trying to make changes. And when you go back and review the film, yes, there are communication breakdowns. Yes, some plays don't look good. But the diversity of what he's calling, he's throwing the kitchen sink at opponents. He's doing everything he can. It's just that nothing is working. But again, as he said, direct quote from him, it starts with me. He has accepted responsibility for the defensive struggles, and that's what he should do. So I've got no issues with Joe Whitt Jr., the man. I have a lot of respect for him as a man. Hasn't worked out on the football field yet, but I'm not totally out on him because I see him trying to make changes. I think it's just haven't found the right combination right now, and also the players just aren't very good. But that is a separate issue. So he did say that him coming to the sideline could increase the energy, the communication, et cetera, et cetera. Someone had asked him what the downsides were. He said that he's not able to see the personnel changes that are coming for the offense. When you're up in the booth, you can see players running off onto the field. Oh, they just took 2 wide receivers off, and now there's 2 tight ends coming on. They're playing heavy. If we're near the goal line, we got to go. We're going big. We got to match with 4-3. Maybe we're going 5-2, whatever it is. That stuff's not as easy to see as he said. However, he's going to have coaches in charge of relaying that to him. Hey, this personnel grouping, this package is coming on the field. And then also he said another downside is he can't tell where the ball is when it's spotted. Not as far as the actual yard marker, but is it on the near hash? Is it on the far hash? Is it somewhere in the middle? Is it right in the middle of the field? He said that he can't tell that, or he can't tell it as easily when he's down on the field. And in certain situations, if the ball is, middle versus on a hash, that might change how he would call a play. But there's a lot of nuance to that. And with this defense, Whitt himself said it a couple of weeks ago, they had to dumb down the playbook because the defense just they weren't handling the concepts. And we don't know the plays, so I don't know how intricate they are. I don't know what the different checks are that come installed on each play, but it was just too complex for this defense. So it wouldn't surprise me if something like that, the complexity of this call from the middle of the field, this call for the ball being on the left hash, wouldn't surprise me if that was too complex for them as well. And he was ultimately going to resort to calling the same thing anyway. So does that make that big of a difference? Considering all of the shortcomings of the defense, changing the call based on where it is relative to the hash marker is very, very, very low on my list of concerns. Let's just leave it at that. Couple more things here from Joe Whitt Jr. before he moved on. He did point out to everybody saying we can't generate pressure. You're right, we can't, but we are blitzing at the second highest rate in the entire NFL on first and second down. And overall, we were in the top 10 for a while. I don't know if we still are because I haven't looked at the numbers in the last couple of weeks, but we're doing things that should generate pressure. The problem is Frankie Louvu's not had a good year. They haven't been able to get Bobby Wagner on as many free looks recently. And there are 3 of our starting edge rushers. Wise was a starter, or Armstrong was a starter. And then after Wise got injured, JJB was a starter. Top 3 pass rushers are out. You're just not going to generate much pressure when your roster is as thin as ours is. And the final note here from Joe Whitt Jr., he said that Jordan McGee has been a really bright spot for the defense, something we all know and we are all excited about. The betting odds for this game, the Commanders opened as 9-point underdogs against the Detroit Lions. That line is down to 7.5. A similar phenomenon happened before the Seahawks game where you're 3.5-point underdogs. Right at kickoff, we were 2.5-point. I don't know why the money is coming in on us. I don't know why the sports books are looking upon us more favorably. Wouldn't surprise me if we lose by 20 points again. That's what's happened 3 straight weeks. If we cover 7.5 against the Lions, we played a heck of a game. And YouTube, this is not gambling advice. Don't demonetize the video. Josh Conerly, moving on to the next topic here. It's becoming pretty trendy to hate on the Josh Conerly pick. And look, Conerly has not been great, okay? It doesn't take a football genius to see that with your own 2 eyes. He's allowed 31 pressures per Pro Football Focus. The next highest amount on the Commanders is Laramie Tunsil and Tyler Biadasz. They're tied with 12. Okay, 31 versus 12. Conerly has also given up a team-high 6 sacks. I want to say 3 or 4 of those were in the Packers game alone, which actually is a good thing if you look at it holistically, although he was dominated in that matchup. 6 sacks this season. Tyler Biadasz is next with 3, Chris Paul at 2, and the rest of the offensive linemen who have played, Coleman, Tunsil, Allegretti, Wiley, they're all at 1. Conerly's also allowed a pressure rate of 9.8% this year. It's basically exactly the same over the last month as it was the first 5 weeks of the season. Now, I'm doing this off the top of my head, but I want to say it was like 14 pressures in the last month on 141 pass blocking reps. And then it was maybe 17 pressures and 172 pass blocking reps in the first 5 weeks of the season. So everything right on that just about 10% mark. So from that, if you look at it that way, the numbers aren't going to tell you there's been improvement. I have seen improvement in certain areas. And look, Brandon Coleman last year played tackle. He gave up, I think it was 10 sacks. It was either 9 or 10. I didn't feel great about Brandon Coleman's long-term future watching it last year. I was intrigued by the move inside the guard. Coach staff told you it didn't work out because they made him inactive. But when I watched Josh Conerly, I'm not as out on him as I was Brandon Coleman. I don't look at him and say, you are out of place. You cannot do this at a high level. No, he's getting beat, but there are promising signs. And a lot of Adam Peters draft picks were not drafted to be immediate contributors, or that's not a great way to put it. They weren't drafted, to be the best they possibly could be on day one. A lot of these guys are great athletic profiles. They've got really good skills and potential, but we have to refine those a little bit. Conerly's one of those people. He's got great movement skills, but he's 21 years old. Play strength was a concern. Yeah, it's going to take time. We shouldn't have expected him to be great. The good thing is you do see the promise. You do see the talent, and that's what I hold on to. I want to give a shout out here to @ZoneRunner331 on X or Twitter. He has a lot of, I think he's got less than 300 followers, but he's got a lot of great tweets that are very insightful. And he pointed out Andrew Thomas of the Giants, who we all know is a great left tackle. As a rookie, he gave up 57 pressures and 10 sacks. Lane Thomas, who is the best right tackle in the NFL, gave up 10 sacks as a rookie. And same thing, Lane had this ridiculous athletic profile. I haven't even mentioned the fact that Conerly is playing a new position. So he's supposed to be great down the line. He's supposed to be great in 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Would be nice if that happened in year 1. But if you watch him play, you can tell he has the skills. You have to stop writing off these young kids just because they don't come out the gates being all pro. I mean, LeBron James, I think, averaged 21 points per game as a rookie in the NBA. And that was good, obviously. But he's averaged 27 for his career. He's had years of averaging 30. At 21, from that standard, 21, you'd be like, wow, that was crap. But look at what he went on to become. And I just mentioned the numbers here from Andrew Thomas, Lane Johnson. Success does not happen immediately for a lot of players. So don't write off Conerly just because you wanted Josh Simmons or me. I wanted Jihad Campbell. I've been very open about that. I wanted Jihad Campbell over Conerly. Just because I didn't get my guy, it doesn't give me the license to write off who Adam Peters picked. Because Adam Peters, I promise, put in more time to scouting these players than any of us. Me, you watching this video, anyone. So let's just see how the chips fall. Or the see how the cards fall. I don't even know the phrase. I think, see how the chip, we're moving on. We're moving on. Final thing I want to say before I get out of here, and it's in that same vein of being patient. Also become very trendy to hate on Adam Peters. Oh, we went 12-5, and now look at us. Now we're going to win 3 games, 4 games. Look at how thin the roster is. Guys, there are, I think, 6 players on this roster from the Ron Rivera era. The Ron Rivera, it's not even an excuse. The Ron Rivera justification will run out at some point. We're only a couple of years removed from it. The best players on your roster are supposed to be your draft picks, who you drafted in the first round, the second round, and are, let's figure, 26 to 29 years old. They've developed, they've been in your system, they were hits. I think we've got 6 guys on the roster from the Rivera era, and 2 of them are starters, right? Cosme, Paul, he just got up there. Chris Paul was not a starter. And actually, is Tressway, is that the third? Or there? I'm trying to think if there's any on defense. When was Payne drafted? I would have to. Point being, I'm not going to look it up right now. There's not a lot left from that Rivera era. So Adam Peters is trying his best to rebuild. He can't do it overnight. And when he's drafting off of potential, again, his draft picks are meant to be the best they can be on day one. So we just have to be patient here. And I know that's a boring answer, but look at who the best GMs in the NFL are. Howie Roseman, the genius Howie Roseman, the overlord of the NFL. His records, his first 3 years in charge, were 9-7, 9-7, 4-11-1, and then 9-8. Les Snead of the Rams, who I think is awesome. Rams are my pick to win the NFC right now. They've won a Super Bowl. His first 4 years, 7-8-1, 6-10, 7-9, 7-9. Not a single winning record in there. The Commanders were bottom feeders for decades. There were not great players. There was not depth. There was not a culture. Free agents didn't want to sign here. Give it time. That's all I'm going to say. Did I expect or did I want us to go from 12-5 to 4-13, whatever we're going to be this year? Of course not. But you know what? If we finish 4-13, we're going to have a top 6, top 5 draft pick. And we're going to get Ruben Bain. We're going to get Arvell Reese. We're going to get Carnell Tate. We're going to get TJ Parker. We're going to get who's your guy? And name your player. We're going to get, I don't even know, Keldrick Falk. Anybody you want. They're going to be available for us, and we're going to continue to rebuild, okay? That's how it's going to work. We have the quarterback. We have a good GM, despite your feelings about him. We have one of the best cap situations in the entire NFL. That's another feather in the cap of Adam Peters. He has cleaned up our books phenomenally. We've got one of the best situations in the entire NFL. So let's just wait and see how things play out. If the 2-3 years down the line, when the players, the draft picks are supposed to come into their potential, if that doesn't happen, if he spends the money poorly, he signs big money free agents who don't work out, he fires the coach and hires the wrong guy, he will be criticized. But right now, we are projecting when we don't actually know what's going to happen. So that's how I'm going to end this video. Guys, do appreciate you all being here with me for the second time today. Make sure that you do like the video if you enjoyed it. Go to the comment section, leave me your thoughts and everything as always. Do hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. And the link to join the Full Command Discord is in the description below. I'm going to head out of here. Appreciate you guys all joining me. Catch you in the next one. Have a great day.